Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country. The late Professor George Magoha, the son of Magoha, was laid to rest today in Game constituency, Siaya County. That event was attended by Kenyans from all walks of life. But I observed a few things which I'm going to analyze in my next video. I'm actually going to do a proper analysis of what I observed during that particular funeral. And maybe you could also help me in the comment section by letting me know any political, anything political which you might have noted during the funeral. But for now, I want us to look at something which caught my attention. The absence of William Ruto, the absence of Rigathi Gachagua, and the absence of Musalia Mudavadi from this particular event. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get back to the main issue. Why do you think William Ruto missed the burial? Do you want to tell me that William Ruto was so busy with the governors to the extent that he could not attend the burial of a senior individual in this country? And do you want to tell me and convince me that there is no way William Ruto would then assign his deputy to represent him at this particular event? Or let me put it this way. If Ruto and the deputy were busy, what about Musalia Mudavadi? These guys were missing in action. Why do you think they were missing? Because I've always opined on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally designed to achieve a specific political objectives. When Magoha died, the government of Kenya took control of the program. As a matter of fact, when Uhuru Kenyatta went there, announced that he had appointed Matiang'i and Tuju to ensure that Magoha is accorded a befitting burial, the government immediately swung into action. And none other than Rigathi Gachagua went to the home in Nairobi and announced that the government was actually going to take almost everything in that particular program. And indeed, the government covered almost everything in this particular funeral. And when William Ruto missed the mass in Nairobi, and Gachagua also missed the mass in Nairobi, I knew that William Ruto was actually going to attend the burial. Everybody knew he was going to attend the funeral. And as a matter of fact, even as late as today, when the program was ongoing, Raphael Tuju made an announcement that William Ruto, the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya, was expected at this particular event. He did not show up. When it was late, he then headed to Naivasha, where MPs were meeting, where governors were meeting. In fact, someone is telling me that probably the plane turned when the intelligence told them the situation on the ground. But let me tell you the reasons why these guys missed this particular event. Number one, the ground hostility. You know, let's not cheat ourselves. Politics was going to take center stage at this particular event. And William Ruto and his team, because I stay here in Kisumu, and I know even the youths who were tasked with this, decided that they were going to ensure they mobilize people so well for that event. So indeed, they mobilized people. But you see, as much as you mobilize Luos to attend this event and probably to heckle Raila, it can't work out. Why? Because they love it. They love him. For example, if you were to pay me to go and heckle Raila and I see him, do you think I can do that? It can't happen. So in the morning, these guys realized that the situation was not very good. The ground had turned hostile. I was informed that the local member of parliament who attended the State House meeting, because of certain fear, had actually mobilized groups of youths, and the youths were stationed there. So when other people also realized, then it was now a contest. Now you add to the real love of Raila Odinga. So William Ruto realized that the ground was hostile, and he was told, the ground here, vile tunaona, sio mzuri. So the best thing, keep off. And for me, I really sometimes wonder why Kenya should be that way. You know, sometimes things like funerals should not be politicized. But there are attempts, and I'm going to do a proper analysis, and I'm going to explain to you why even the military chopper had to be released. So that's number one. The ground turned hostile. And you could tell, for example, when Raila Odinga arrived, that charged crowd. Do you think anybody can deal with that charged crowd? Number two, the presence of Uhuru and Raila at this function also complicated the equation for Kenya Kwanza. Basically, this was going to be the first event where we are going to have Uhuru, Ruto, Raila, Rigathi, and Mudavadi together. It was going to be the first meeting bringing them together after William Ruto was sworn in as the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. So how was Ruto going to deal with it? How was Raila going to deal with it? How was Uhuru going to deal with it? Because we are going to have a situation where William Ruto was going to be there. He was going to be probably introduced as the 5th president constitutionally. Then Raila Odinga, if Ruto was there, was also going to play his politics. And probably was going to tell the people that Ujamali Hiba. And because of that, Ruto was also going to counter back. Uhuru Kenyatta would have probably used the occasion, if Ruto was there, to respond to Ruto. And I think William Ruto, in his own wisdom and that of Kenya Kwanza, they decided last minute, actually, in the morning, that he should not attend because these guys were going to attend. In fact, Uhuru Kenyatta's initial plan was to spend his night in Siaya, but probably he didn't spend the night in Siaya. But that is one of the reasons. The presence of Uhuru and the presence of Raila complicated the equation for Rigathi. Like, for example, Rigathi Gachagua has been abusing Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta has been his pet subject. Now, he can do that in the mountain. What about Nyanza? Number 3 is Raila Odinga's rallies. You know, let's face it, the country was calm. Then Raila Odinga came up with these rallies. Ruto had been received so well in Nyanza just the other month. It was expected that he was going to come to Nyanza and he was going to get the kind of reception. But things changed along the way. Things changed. Yeah? In fact, someone was telling me one thing which annoyed the people of Nyanza is that William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua spent their days in Nyanza. Then, I think it was on Friday, on Saturday, they were still in Nyanza. Then the next day, they were in Bomet. And in Nyanza, they were just okay. When they went to Bomet, they started abusing Raila Odinga from Bomet. Yani you leave Nyanza straight to abuse Raila Odinga. And people were like, it won't happen again. Then, Raila Odinga started these rallies. So these rallies have been charging people. So the crowd today is charged for Raila Odinga. So I don't think it would have been good for Ruto. But for me, the Ruto I know ought just to have attended this particular funeral. Number 4 is the attacks on Uhuru Kenyatta's family. Ruto and the group have been attacking Uhuru Kenyatta. His security was withdrawn. If you observe today, Uhuru Kenyatta's security, apart from the few ones, was provided for by men in black. So today, men in black took charge of Uhuru Kenyatta's security, just the way they took charge of Raila Odinga's security. They also talked of issues of tax. So what if these were going to be turned? Because in Kenya, some of the things which happen are funny. An event like this would have easily been turned into a political event It has happened severally. Then it would have meant Uhuru would have asked Ruto, we chukua hata hizi zimebaki. Ama if I owe government tax, please tomorrow come give me the bill I pay. So I think the attacks on Uhuru Kenyatta came at a wrong time for William Ruto. Because you can't tell me that William Ruto could spare time to attend any other funeral, but not as high profile as this one of Magoha. Number 5, I also tend to think that there's just fear that the country is now high voltage politics. Because when William Ruto came to Siaya, the country was not that politicized. People had accepted. Raila had met with his governors, he had met with his MPs, told them, okay, you go and receive Ruto. They went, they received Ruto. Then from nowhere, Raila said, okay, huyu jamaa aliiba vitu zangu. The whistleblower ameleta vitu hapa. So there's fear. So that's the fear. How are the Nyanza people going to receive us this time around? And lastly, and I observed this, when Raila Odinga arrived, just review those clips and monitor the reaction of Raymond Omolo. You know, I think these guys wanted to take control of the program. And again, they lost control of the program. Elisha, Walo, Raymond had strategically organized to take charge of the program. But you know, as long as Uhuru is there, as long as Raila is there, as long as Orengo is there, it changes the equation. So they lost control of the program, and therefore there's nothing they could do. So they told Ruto that this program, we've lost control of it. So the best thing you can do, abscond. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.